We definitely have some verbs here, but remember, there are multiple verb tense rules, and our task is to predict which one we're dealing with. So if I look at these verbs, the first thing I would check for is, can I categorize them as singular and plural? No, none of them really have that property. So it's not about verb agreement, it's about something else. Now, I do recognize that I have a to, an ing, another to here, and this is that rule that I kind of made up, which is called the to and ing verb rule. And basically, this one means that we're probably thinking about sentence structure, punctuation might matter, some sort of pattern in the sentence, parallelism sometimes it's called. But regardless, we can probably trust our instincts here. If we have multiple choices that sound correct, we might need to think about that punctuation stuff. But this is one where once we know what rule we're dealing with, we know we're less likely to get tricked by whatever is going on in the sentence. So let's just read it and see how it sounds. In the late 1960s, inspired in part by the sight of laundry hanging on a clothesline, African-American abstract painter Sam Gilliam began to create his iconic drape paintings. He applied bold, saturated hues to large canvases and suspended them from ceilings or walls, causing the drooping fabric to cascade in dramatic loops and curves. So it sounds like it's going to be D. Where did that come from? Well, he applied bold, saturated hues to large canvases and suspended. This is a pattern. This is a list of two. So I am merely just completing the list, right? Anytime we see this kind of rhythm to a sentence, sometimes it's a longer list, but even just two things is enough to set a pattern. And then when this to and ing rule is there, we need to sometimes just match that pattern. And hopefully we can see with the word and that that's what we've got, right? And without a comma is a word we use for lists of two. So we want both pieces of that list to be in symmetry with each other. I knew that was coming. I could try the other ones and see how they sound. Maybe in isolation, some of them sound okay. But the point of this to and ing rule is at some point, we probably will be able to point to something and say, this is why I'm picking this, right? It's not because it's the past tense necessarily. It's because this other part is in the past tense. And so I've got to just go with that. You got to complete the pattern.